A hearing for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's alleged misconduct is back underway. Today, the former law partner and divorce lawyer of a top prosecutor in Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case got back on the stand. This after a judge determined Terrence Bradley is not covered by attorney-client privilege and must testify in greater detail about Nathan Wade's romantic relationship with Willis. Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes continues to listen in on this hearing.
All right, Khalif, Terrence Bradley back on the witness stand. He's not coming off as credible. I felt like I heard so many times, I can't remember, it's speculation. It feels like he's kind of having amnesia. But when you look at all this is what he's saying, I mean, the timing of all this, of their relationship, basically in terms of Fani Willis's relationship with Nathan Wade. So what did we learn today?
Well, I know that it's not July 4th, but it seemed like fireworks were happening in there.
Yes.
That first portion, that's not normal. In a hearing where you have objections, it may be cordial. In the legal profession, even though in the movies they try to make it seem like we don't like each other, that's not how it operates. You are very respectful. It's just, ma'am, yes, sir. You know, okay, you go, don't. That was a lot of back and forth. The other attorney said, I take offense to the comment. I take a high offense to you saying that we're trying to coach my witness from the stand. And so those type of allegations are not normal. But these types of things, you have to remember, they can't prep him, but they can go through the types of questions. They can go through, okay, let's go through your testimony, and then that's about it. And so he's on the stand. He's an attorney. They're attempting to impeach his prior testimony. So say if he comes off as not credible, if somebody that looks like he's not telling the truth, that's one thing. But to come out as an outright liar that you perjured yourself earlier, then his bar license will be up for grabs. And so for him, he's doing exactly what I would want him to do, is say, listen, you don't remember what you said before, and you may not remember what happened back then. The easiest thing to say is, I have no idea. I don't have any recollection.
In his defense, too, just with what you said right there, back then, this happened a long time ago.
It
so
did.
For you to be able to recall what you said to somebody about a relationship. I mean,
Multiple years. He's trying to save his license. I give it to him.
Well, and at the same time, though, there's a text message saying that the relationship absolutely started before Willis hired Wade, and then he backtracks saying that he was just speculating. So it's kind of, I think they're wondering, well, what is it?
Right. And so the attorney, Merchant, she's doing a good job of attempting to at least pull him out. If you're attempting to impeach a witness, you can go off of what you said before. And then before he said, listen, I'm waiving attorney-client privilege. And then at some point today, they were asking him direct questions. His answer is, I don't remember, or I was speculating. Those are the easiest answers you can to not commit and not to throw your former friend, former business partner under the bus. It definitely did not come off as the best witness, didn't come off as credible at all, but it for sure was the best answer he could do to protect himself in that situation, not to say his license.
All right, but when you hear that a witness is being recalled back for more testimony, I think the majority of us thought we would hear something new today. Did we hear anything new?
No, you didn't hear anything new, but both sides got an opportunity to do what they wanted to do. He got an opportunity to get on the stand and say much of nothing, which he wanted to do, and she got on the stand and got an opportunity to tell her side. She asked him questions time and time again to show that he was not credible, because remember, the trier of fact in the situation is the judge. The judge has to make the determination of, is this stuff happening or did it not happen? Was there some type of impropriety happening? Should Willis be recused? And does this individual have any information that can help me get there? But ultimately, I have to take it back to law school. When you're taking an exam, you have to look for the red herrings. This is a clear red herring. This case, as Fani Willis has said, is about the former president of the United States. So even if there was a relationship between Wade and Willis at any point, are we saying that now the grand jury got it wrong, that the evidence that was presented in front of them was inaccurate somehow because of their inappropriate relationship? And that's the part that's getting missed, is that at the end of the day, the grand jury has already spoken, regardless if they've had an intimate relationship 2 seconds before the grand jury met. They didn't make the decision to bring the indictment. The grand jury decided to indict him.
Right, and also you have to remember the whole point of all of this, they're trying to be able to prove that Fani Willis hired Wade so that she could allegedly use the money for herself in terms of getting a profit. This is somebody that had multiple income.
Yeah, that would be big. That would be a big stretch to go after the president.
To go over that, right? I think that is that getting lost. Let me get your opinion real quick. Is that getting lost in all of this?
I think that folks have to remember that even if she tried to, fund purchasing a whole other piece of property, or using the money to do multiple things, like they asked her, multiple apartment complexes that she was renting during that time, all of it distracts from the real process, which is there is a case that's ongoing against the former president, and redirecting it to there is really, at this point, all that matters.
I don't want my producer to be upset with me.
Both attorneys are going to try their best, though, that's for sure.